Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am back with another crochet with me, and today we are going to be crocheting bags. I've never been a crochet bag type of person, so this video is definitely out of my comfort zone, and because it is spring, I did want to make spring themed bags. So without any further ado, let's get right into today's video. I love how the sun is really coming into the living room right now. This is why I love summer and spring. The sun is always just so much brighter. Okay, so here are the colors that I decided to make this granny square bag with. So the first project is a granny square bag that just consists of 2 granny squares. So it's like a little pouch that you can put your lip gloss in, your phone case, and little bits and bobs like that. Okay, so let's talk about the different colors of yarn that we're going to be using for this granny square bag. So this bag just consists of 2 granny squares. It's just like a little pouch where you can put like little bits and bobs like your phone or lip gloss or your car keys if you can drive. I still need to get my license. And yeah, just little things that you don't really want to carry. So the first color that we're going for today is this really nice lemon yellow color, and I feel like this just screams spring. It's really bright and pretty. And then we're also going to go with this really nice dark green, and it really complements this bright yellow as well. And just to tone down the brightness of this yellow, I'm going to add some mustard yellow, and just to keep it really nice and bright as well, I'm going to add this ivory color. And I feel like all 3 of these colors just go so well together. Now I just need to figure out what order I want these colors to be in. I do not want these 2 yellows close together. I feel like this order as it is right now looks really nice, and I might just have to do like 4 rounds because I don't want this bag to be too big. Maybe 4, we'll see, but I really want to end on this color, so maybe I could do 4 or so rounds. So if I do 4 rounds, we're gonna end up ending on this one. Then if I do another round, then we have this one as well. I could do 8 rounds. We'll see. We'll see the size of the granny squares as we go along. I'm going to show you guys a reference photo as well. But let me just say, for this project, we're going to be needing a 4mm crochet hook. I feel like I use this crochet hook in a lot of my videos. My older brother actually bought this one for me when I went to his house in Nottingham. It's a very nice crochet hook. But I do miss the ones with the handles on the bottom. I feel like it's more comfortable to crochet with, like this one for example. I like the handle and the grip is a lot better. This one kind of makes my hand hurt, but regardless, I'll use it. It's fine. It's not really a long project anyway. Also, my younger brother recently got a 3D printer. He uses it to print out things that he needs for his engineering class in school, and he printed me out a crochet hook. It's a 5.5mm crochet hook. It makes it very obvious here in the big writing, and I will use this at some points, obviously, because it was a gift. But yeah, it's very, very light actually. And it's hollow on the inside. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but we'll try using it. It should be able to crochet something really, really well. But yeah, I think it's really nice. I might sand it down a bit though, just to make it less sharp, because some of the pieces are sticking out on the back, like it's not as smooth as I would have wanted it. But yeah, I can just sand that over. But yeah, it's a nice gift. Also guys, matcha really does not taste like grass at all. I don't know what type of matcha people have been drinking, or maybe I'm not drinking the correct one, but the grass is not my first thought. It's kind of like what I expected matcha to taste like, if that makes sense. Like, it just tastes like it should be matcha, even though I've never had it before, the first time I had it. But anyway guys, I'm just talking a lot. Let's get started on crocheting. So the order was this. Let me just move the white one over there. So this is the order, and we're gonna get started by using this yellow. I forgot to show you guys, but here is the little reference photo. When I saw this on Pinterest, I was like, this is perfect for spring. This looks really cute, and it would really spice up a basic outfit as well by adding a pop of color. Like in the photo there, she was wearing a white shirt and some green joggers or cargo trousers. I'm not sure what it looked like. But yeah, and adding the bag just adds a nice color on there. So this bag is really simple to make, so if you're a beginner you can crochet along with me. I do have a tutorial on how to make granny squares, a very beginner tutorial as well, to ensure that your squares actually come out as squares. When I first started crocheting, I made a granny square sweater, a granny square cardigan, sorry, and the squares were not really squares at all. I just kind of manipulated it into becoming a square, almost into forming a square. So yeah, now I know how to make perfect ones, so I really learned from my mistakes then. So I started off with this beautiful yellow color and began making the first round. Also, I will link in the eye how to make the granny square and in the description box below, so you guys can check it out. So you can watch that video, then come back to this one and we can make this beautiful pouch together. And I actually really enjoy making granny squares, but I kind of had to force myself to make a granny square bag because I wanted this video to be a complete challenge, making things that I've never made before, and I've always made granny squares. So I was kind of debating whether I should incorporate a granny square bag into this video or not, but it's a classic, you know, granny squares are iconic in crochet, so I had to include it. But trust me, the other bags in this video are not granny square bags, otherwise I feel like I would have ruined the video. I should make a granny square projects only type of video. I think that would be very fun, seeing the different ways that I can turn granny squares into different items like clothing, bags and everything. Over here, as you can see, I had a little bit of trouble forming my square. For some reason the yarn was tying itself, and I tried taking the yarn out so I could fix my mistake, but it didn't really end up working. It was just really annoying. Something so strange just happened. It just turned into a heart shape. I tried taking out the stitches because I made a mistake and everything was just tied together. So let me just quickly restart this round. Okay, so after I restarted the round, it began looking like an actual square, and I decided to watch Kung Fu Panda, the first one, whilst I was crocheting, and I love this movie so much. Oh my goodness, I could make a whole video about why I love Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda 2 as well was amazing. Kung Fu Panda 3 was okay. The fourth one I haven't even watched. I've heard such terrible reviews, and I've also seen a couple clips on TikTok, and it does not make me want to watch it at all. Sometimes they need to just stop making more movies, you know? They should have ended it on 3, then that would have been a really good trilogy. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I love the first one, so I began watching that as I was crocheting, and I changed the color as well to green, and this green yarn really matched the jumper I was wearing, because I do need to make a video on styling some of my crochet pieces, because I have made a lot of crochet pieces and now it's about time that I do a little fashion show, you know, putting outfits together based on the things that I've made. And this green jumper will have to make a return when I style my granny square pouch. I think that would look so nice. I also just changed the color to this really nice mustard yellow shade, and I love how all these colors just go so well together, and I love just picking colors. A lot of people say that I have a really good eye for picking color combinations, and I agree. Like, I'm not even gonna humble myself there. I definitely agree, because if something doesn't look right to me, I will literally just not do it. I'll just tear it apart if the colors don't go well together. So I really have to just sit and think, okay, what order will these colors look good in, and what shades would look good together. Okay, then I added in my ivory yarn, and I love ivory. I feel like a lot of crocheters gravitate more toward ivory than white. I don't really like crocheting in white. I feel like it's just, I don't know, it's like too bright for my liking. I don't even know how to describe it, but in this video you will see that I did use white, so I really am switching up my crochet style in these videos. In this video, I mean, because after this I'm going straight back to using ivory. I was using these new microphones for my camera, but they weren't working properly. They sounded like really fuzzy. It's almost like something was grating on the top of my microphone on my camera, which was very odd. So that's why most of this video is a voiceover. I did want this to be more of a talking crochet vlog, but in the next video hopefully I will figure out how to use the microphones a lot better, and then we'll have a different style of video. But yeah, making these granny squares was a process. It's a really fun process. I will never ever stop making granny squares, and I do want to learn how to turn them into different things like I was saying before. But yeah, I started off by making one round of each colors just to see how it was looking and to see what the size was like. So I decided to do another round of all the colors, so I had 8 rounds in total. So as you can see, I'm crocheting another green round, and I really want to end these granny squares on ivory just to make it really nice and bright. I am on my last round of colors, so I went round twice with each color, so I'm ending on my ivory. Okay, so this is what the square is looking like, and I do think this is a very good size. It does match the size in the reference photo that I found on Pinterest, but I just want more ivory. So I'm going to do another round of ivory, and then I will cast off and then make another square that's exactly like this one. Okay, so this is how big this square is, and I'm going to go ahead and make another one. I think this is the perfect size. I feel like adding that extra round of ivory really made the colors stand out a lot more. This just looks so much brighter, and I'm really happy with how the square looks. And I went ahead and made another square, so we have 2 for the front and the back of the bag. Here comes my least favorite part. I had to weave in all of my loose ends. I really don't like this process at all. I want there to be a way where we don't ever have to weave in crochet ends ever again. I think magic would need to be involved in that. But yeah, here are my 2 squares. I'm really happy with how they look, and now I just had to sew them together. So I did not want to turn this bag inside out, so I ended up sewing this together wrong side to wrong side, so both my right sides are facing the right way round, if that makes sense, because typically you would sew things right side to right side, then turn it inside out, and then it'll be the right side. But I'm doing the opposite because I don't want to turn it inside out, so I already have my right side facing. This is my sewing terminology that's really coming through, because I remember when my sewing teacher used to say to me, Aisha, always sew right side to right side, and then turn it inside out so your stitches are on the inside and not the outside. So yeah, I hope that made sense to you guys. So I just ended up slip stitching everything together. I didn't want to get out my tapestry needle, and it's looking really good. And I obviously did not sew the top closed because we need to be able to put things inside. So then I felt like the top of the bag was looking really empty, so I decided to chain 3 and do a round of half double crochets all the way around my bag. I'm so sorry, I meant double crochets. I was thinking of doing half double crochets, but I ended up doing double crochets just to give it a little bit more height. And this was a very nice touch to the bag. I like how it looked. And if you guys are making this, you don't have to do anything on the top of the bag. Maybe single crochets just to make it a little bit neater, but it's not really necessary. And the last thing that I needed to do was to sew the straps. So I made a slip knot and then I began chaining. You can chain as much as you want. Usually when I chain for straps, I don't really count. So I'm so sorry guys, I don't really have the number of how many chains I did, but like I said before, you can just crochet as many as you want. If you want it to be long enough to reach your hip, then that would be fine, or if you want just a little shoulder bag, that's also fine. And then I just began half double crocheting all the way along the chain. You can pick whatever stitch that you want, but I feel like the reference photo had half double crochets and I really like how the half double crochets look. So this bag was made with a variety of stitches. Half double crochets, double crochets, and slip stitches. Yeah. And I just chained one and fastened off, and with all these loose ends I just sewed them in the end of the project. So I always like leaving that till last minute. Okay, the strap is ready and now I just need to thread a needle. I like to double up my thread depending on how thick my yarn is, but with this yarn it is like quite thin, so I wanted the strap to be on there really tight, so I just pulled it on tight and then I cut off the excess yarn. And then I was ready to sew it on. I just use a basic stitch going in and out and in and out. I don't really know the names of these sewing stitches, but that's all I did. And this is what the bag looks like. I genuinely think it's so pretty. And I showed my mom the bag yesterday and she said that it was really good for when you go to the airport. Like you can just put your passport in there and your boarding pass and everything. And I just think it's really pretty. These are the types of things that I carry in my handbag on a daily basis. Like I literally cannot leave the house without lip gloss and a hand mirror. So yeah, those are my essentials and my AirPods of course. So let's move on to the next bag. Here we're making a tulip tote bag and this is my favorite project of this video. I love it so much. So I started off by chaining and then doing a couple rounds of half double crochets. So when you make a base of the bag, you have your chain and then you're gonna do a stitch, whatever stitch you want, all the way along the chain, and then you have to start working on the back side of your chain and then just keep repeating multiple rounds and then you have the base of your bag complete. I should do an in-depth tutorial on how to actually make these things, but yeah, this was just a crochet with me. But if you guys like any of these bags, let me know and I will do a full tutorial. Now with this really pretty shade of green, I began making these stems of my tulips, and these are just V stitches. So a V stitch is when you double crochet in a stitch, chain one, and you double crochet back in the same stitch. So it's very simple. I was telling my people on TikTok that this bag is really simple to make. Even if you are a beginner, I feel like beginner crocheters tend to overlook their skills and over exaggerate how complicated a certain crochet project is. But when you break it down into stitches, like you already know how to do those stitches, like a single crochet or a half double crochet or a double crochet, and this bag was just variants of the stitches that you already know. So if you guys want to make this bag, remember, let me know and I'll do a full tutorial. It's very fun to make as well, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, and you guys will see in the end it's actually so beautiful. Now it's time to finally add in my tulips, and I used a popcorn stitch to form the tulip flower, and I began working in all my V stitches. So each V stitch represents where the tulip is supposed to be. So I ended up putting my yarn in the part where I fastened off. So in each round you have to fasten off. You can't just add a new color without cutting the yarn. So I put my pink yarn right where I fastened off the green yarn in the previous round, and then I worked my popcorn stitch on the inside. So you just chain 3 and then add 3 or 4 double crochets depending on how big you want your tulip to be. I added 5 double crochets actually, and then I formed my popcorn stitch like so, and I began just doing that all the way around, completing my round of tulips. So this pattern is very repetitive. So after you make your tulips, then you add a round of white to add a border, almost a separation, before you add your other row of tulips. So after I did this pink round, I added single crochets in each stitch, and then I did another round of single crochets, another round of single crochets, until I had a total of 5 rounds of single crochets in white. And then I added another round of V stitches and then my tulips, and then repeated the 5 rounds of single crochets with my white yarn. So I know it sounds very complicated when I sing it out loud, but when you're in the process, when you're in the crocheting process, you will see that it's very easy to do and very repetitive. So that's why I didn't really film that much of this bag, because it's just the same thing over and over again. But it is really fun and it's really easy to work up as well. I did have to use 2 different shades of pink because I didn't have enough of this really nice bright pink that I just showed. So I had to look in my yarn collection, and then I picked up this dull pink. It's not that dull, but it's definitely a lot more dull compared to the bright pink, and I thought that would give a nice contrast anyway, so I didn't really mind. I really had to improvise here. I was actually thinking of just using a completely different color, but I really wanted to make pink. Pink and white is such a nice combination. Here's a little update. It's actually the next day right now, and I have 1 row of tulips left. So far I've got 4 rows and I just want to do 1 more, and I ran out of this bright pink completely and I just have this one left over. So far I've been interchanging the colors. So I went bright pink, this dull pink, bright pink, this dull pink, and now I have to do another row of the dull pink because I still need the bag to be a bit longer. I would have just left it at this size, but I don't feel like the bag is big enough. So yeah, we're gonna do another row after I do my 5 white rows that go in between each tulip roll. But yeah, it's looking really good so far. I'm really happy with how it's looking. It's just so beautiful, and every time I do a row I just get so excited because of how pretty all the flowers look. So I just made breakfast, so I'm gonna eat that and just crochet and crochet and crochet and crochet, and then we'll make the straps together. Finally, after crocheting all of my rounds of tulips, I ended up making 5 rows. I began making my strap. As you can see, I already made one of the handles, so let's make the other handle together. So I ended up chaining 90. I actually counted for you guys this time, because in my previous bag I did not count at all. So yeah, I chained 90, and this is such a good length, and you will see in the end it's like the the perfect tote bag. The way I'm speaking so highly of this, you'll think that I've never made anything that I truly liked before. But the thing is, with me, I don't really wear a lot of my crochet items. I feel like you'll hear me say this a lot. I just make it just to make it, and just take pictures and then just store it in my room. But with this bag, I'm actually gonna wear it in public. It's so pretty. I'm so obsessed with it as well, and it's very sturdy as well. Like, I don't think I need to add lining, but I will add lining just for the sake of it. Like, I don't want it to rip or break or anything. But it's the way I did the stitches is actually really tight, so I might not even need to add lining. I might just put it off. But yeah, I love it so much. And these straps though, I hated making these straps so much. This is why I don't like crocheting bags, because of the straps. Like, I don't even know what it is. It is very easy to do, but I just don't like doing it, you know? After about a day and a half, the bag is complete. I love this so much. It's so summery, so spring, and it's just so girly and feminine. I love it. I love the color contrast between the two different shades of pink. I feel like I need a wider vocabulary to explain how much I love this bag, because right now it sounds like I don't like it that much because I'm saying, oh, I love it, it's perfect, it's this, but trust me, I love it so much. It's amazing. This is what I would pack in this bag as a default option. Like, I can't go anywhere without a notebook, also some crochet hooks, and of course my AirPods and lip gloss and glasses and everything. That's what I would put in here, but it's so well made and it's very, very sturdy. Okay, here comes the last bag of the video. I feel like I've been talking for so long, but I wanted this bag to be inspired by strawberries. I remember, like, I'm gonna say back in the day, that's gonna make me sound so old, but when all of my brothers were living in the same house, like two of my older brothers have moved out now, and you know, they kind of have their own lives and everything. But when we were all in the house together, when we were all homeschooled, we would go strawberry picking every summer when they started growing at this farm, and I wanted to make a bag that just reminded me of that because it's a very fond memory of mine. I actually hate strawberries, like I don't like them at all. They make me feel so sick. They do look pretty though, that's why I decided to add them onto this bag. Like, whenever we went strawberry picking, I would not even eat them, I just don't like them, but I would come home and make strawberry lemonade for everyone, or my mum would make strawberry jam or just something. I do like strawberry jam. I feel like I just don't like raw strawberries, because with strawberry jam you like cook it so it doesn't taste like strawberries, and you also add like a ton of sugar. But anyways, I did the base of my bag, and let me just explain to you guys the vision. So with this bag, I wanted it to be a mesh bag mostly. So I did the bottom as a solid base, and then I wanted to add some red mesh and then do another round of single crochets in white, the same way I did the bottom of the bag, if that makes sense. So we just have mesh in the middle, then regular bag, I guess, on the bottom and on the top, and then do white handles as well, and then decorate the entire thing with strawberries. I hope you got the vision, because that was exactly what I was thinking about doing in my head. But then I was like, Aisha, what is this? What actually is this? This is starting to look like some weird watermelon, especially the shape. And yeah, what would I even fit inside this bag? Let's be so real. So I decided to start again and make a mesh bag instead. I was actually so burnt out from crocheting all these bags. Like, guys, I made all these bags in like a week, like all of them, and I was just so tired of making them. So I decided to watch a tutorial on how to make this mesh bag. I will link it in the description box below. It's a very helpful tutorial. So I didn't really film much as well because I was just so tired. This is the first time I've made a video incorporating so many different projects in one. I tend to just, you know, add one project in each video, so this was very different, and I am so tired. Alright guys, here is an update. I've been really lazy with filming this bag, so I'm gonna just show you guys what I've been doing. Please ignore how dirty my desk is. Like, I've had this for years and I always just write notes on the desk, and I tried painting it over with white paint, but that just made it look crazy. But anyways, I changed the background because I don't think you guys can really see this, but this is what my bag is looking like so far. I don't know what possessed me to do that first design that I was doing. I think I was just tired because I've been making like these 3 bags non-stop. But anyway, this is what it looks like, and it's kind of like a granny square stitch, or to be more technical, it's a 3 double crochet cluster, but this is very, very common in granny squares, so that's what it just reminds me of. So I've just been doing clusters of double crochets in each gap. So in each gap I just added 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, and I just keep repeating that all the way around until I have the height of my bag. And this is how much white yarn I have left. I hope I have enough, because I want this to be like a mini bag, not necessarily a tote bag. We'll see what length I end up doing, but it shouldn't really take me that long. I just need to focus and actually crochet without getting distracted, and then hopefully we should get this done today. So let me just eat breakfast and get right into crocheting. I think I'll multitask. I'll eat while crocheting. But yeah, if you're wondering why I sound ill, because I have hay fever and it's really bad. Like, I just woke up as well and it's really, really bad when I wake up in the morning. But anyways, let's get right into crocheting. So before moving on to the next cluster, I always chain 1 and then move into the next cluster and put in 3 double crochets. So I'm working in the chain spaces of the rounds. So just like this, I put in 3 double crochets, and then I'm just going to chain 1 and then do 3 double crochets like this. If you guys follow me on TikTok, you would have seen that I already posted about my tulip bag, and a couple people have been asking for tutorials. But with me, I really prefer doing these crochet with me type videos, just so you can see me doing the crocheting and just watching the process while you crochet your own projects as well. But I feel like some projects that I make are just like, I guess they're really nice, so people also want to make it with me. So I'm planning on writing a crochet pattern for the bag, but I've actually never written a functional crochet pattern before in my life. So I'm gonna test my skills and see if I can actually get it out there, because I feel like a lot of people will really enjoy making the bag, especially since it's summer as well. Summer and spring, people gravitate towards those designs a lot more, because I love the tulips as well. It's one of my favorite crochet projects that I've made this year so far, which says a lot, and I really want to use it as well in public. I already have an outfit that I will style it with. But yeah, that's going to be really exciting to see if I can actually write a functional crochet pattern. If I do, guys, I'm never going to stop writing patterns, I promise you. But I need people to test my pattern as well. I have this friend and she crochets, so I think it'll be a lot easier just to give her the pattern and see if she can follow it coherently. So yeah, that's going to be on my to-do list. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long to write the pattern, then it's winter and then no one really wants that design anymore. That'd actually be so funny. But yeah, we'll see how far we get with that. Okay, so here is what the bag is looking like, and I actually finished it quite quickly, the body of the bag that is. I still have the straps to do, but I sent my younger brother to go and buy some more white yarn for me. He's not really a yarn person, so I literally had to give him a sample of the yarn so he knows what kind of thickness, because he just thinks any yarn is any yarn, you know? So this is what it's looking like, and I really think this is a perfect size, you know, just to put your book inside, or a Kindle, or just something to carry, just something, you know. It's big enough for a book and a tablet, maybe not a laptop, but yeah, I think it's a really cute size. I do want to decorate this bag with some strawberries. So I have this yarn. This yarn is left over from my crochet maxi dress video, and then I have this green yarn that I just found in my collection, but I'm not sure which green yarn I want to use. I also have this shade. Actually, you know what, knowing how the shades look next to each other, I definitely think this is not a good option, so never mind. We'll go with this one. This one's really perfect for this red. So I don't even know what I was thinking. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and crochet some strawberries. I might crochet like 10 or so, you know, 5 for the front of the bag and then 5 for the back of the bag. I'm not sure what design I'm gonna be doing for the straps. I might do a little keychain of a strawberry to put on the straps of the bag. I'm not entirely sure. We will figure things out as we go along. So for the bag, I was using this 4.5mm crochet hook, but for these strawberries I'll just use a 3.5 or a 4mm. Let me actually go and find that. Okay, so here is my 4mm crochet hook, and I don't know if I want to add seeds to these strawberries. We'll see. Right now I'm just thinking I don't know, but the more I crochet, the more I might add more intricate details to make it look a little bit more realistic. So let's get started. Crocheting these strawberries was actually really fun. They were very quick to make as well. It took me like 5-10 minutes per strawberry, and I decided to get these out of the way while my brother was in the shops instead of me just waiting. I was so determined to finish this bag in the same day. I did not want to continue this into tomorrow or into the next day. I just wanted to get it over and done with. And I feel like sometimes when I'm crocheting and I'm just fed up with a project, it doesn't turn out exactly how I want it to be. But this bag was a little bit different. Even though I rushed it and I was crocheting like crazy, I'm really happy and very proud of the outcome actually. So yeah. I also decided not to add any seeds to these strawberries, mainly because I just couldn't be bothered. I was so tired at this point, guys. It was almost getting really late and I was just so fed up with it. But these strawberries do look really cute without the seeds, and I feel like even real strawberries, the edible ones, should not have seeds. They look so creepy with these tiny seeds all around it. But yeah, I ended up marking where I wanted my straps to go. This tutorial was very easy to follow, and I tend to just freehand most of my projects, but I was too tired to freehand anything. I just decided to, you know, let's sit down and watch a tutorial because my brain was not working, and it was very evident with that creation that I made, the one that looks a bit like a watermelon. And yeah, I completed the bag. I didn't really record much because again, it's very repetitive and I was really lazy, as I've been saying for a while. So I decided to glue the strawberries on instead of stitch them on with a needle and thread because it's just easier and it's a lot quicker. So I added a book on the inside of my bag, so when I stick them on, the glue is not going to go onto the other side of my bag because I would completely ruin it if I glue the whole thing together. Then I wouldn't even be able to put anything on the inside. So I used some hot glue. If you guys are following along, you can also use fabric glue or just something to stick it on. I would recommend sewing it on though because it's just a little bit better than glue, but either way it works. So as long as you get the strawberries on, it doesn't really matter which method you use. I almost ended up gluing these strawberries onto the book actually, so I had to lift the strawberry up so it doesn't set on the book, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just continued doing that with all of my strawberries. After I had all of these glued on, I literally went to sleep. It was almost 9 o'clock. I know it's not that late, but when you're making things, it is that late. Like you just want to go to sleep now. But yeah, the bag is actually really cute. It looks a lot better in person, guys. Trust me, it looks a million times better in person. And this is my mum's favorite bag. I love the tulip one, but this one is really close in terms on which one I prefer. It's a really nice bag, very, very handy, and I can't wait to line all these bags that I've made. So here is a little recap just so you guys can see what we made in today's video. So first of all, we have this beautiful granny square pouch. I love it, love the colors, I love everything about it, and this bag would look so good with an outfit and gold jewelry. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but gold will really bring out the colors a lot more. Like, I would never wear this with silver jewelry. And then next up we have the Tulip Tote bag. Self-explanatory, beautiful, love it. It's spacious, it's sturdy, it's everything. It's amazing. And then lastly, of course, we have our strawberry tote bag. Alright guys, that is the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. It is a really long video, but I hope this gave you some nice ideas for spring and what bags for you to crochet next. And as always, I will see you in the next one.